stay close to Tennessee this evening.
Well, Ron, the Georgia players have drawn a lot of strength from watching last year's tapes because they were close in that ball game. But tonight, they have to turn Tennessee's offense into a one-dimensional offense. That means they've got to take away Jay Graham in the running game. On the other side of the ball, Mike Bobo gets all the pressure as the Georgia quarterback because he has to have drives to keep Peyton Manning off the field.
Kellen Winslow is down on the sideline. And Kellen, last week, an injury to Juan Daniels was big. He suffered a concussion. What is his situation and availability tonight?
Well, Ron and Mike, we found out that Juan Daniels will play tonight. He was knocked out 4.5 minutes of last week's ball game. He was out cold. When he came to, he asked his mother if he had scored a touchdown. Also, we found out that Torrin Kirksey, the backup tailback, will not play tonight. He's been suspended for one ball game for violation of team rules. Coach Donnan would not go into specifics.
So that means that we will see the freshman, Patrick Pass, the freshman out of Tucker, Georgia, quite a bit tonight. And there you look at Pass, number 6. As Georgia won the toss, and Jim Donnan says, hey, let's put that offense out there on the field and see what we can do against the Volunteers tonight. Jeff Hall kicks it off, and we are underway. 4 yards deep, they will not return it. So let's take a look at the starters for the Bulldogs tonight. Bobo at quarterback, healthy again, as is Robert Edwards. The fullback will be Selma Callaway. The wide receivers, good group here, particularly Hines Ward. He can do everything. Juan Daniels is back. Larry Brown, you may see him catch a couple tonight, but primarily a blocker. The 2 tackles, Meadows and Stenchcombe, have consistently graded well this year. Also up front, Beatles, Stafford, and Antonio Fleming. They need to be solid tonight against Tennessee for the Dogs to keep this one close to the house. Brown in motion as the pitch comes back to Edwards. Spins his way for 4. Now 5. It'll be a second down and less than 5 yards. And here are the defenders for Tennessee. Little, Duff, Green, and Brown. And, of course, Leonard Little, number 1 on his back and also with the hearts of a lot of volunteer faithful. He is very good. Al Wilson, Tyrone Hines, and Craig King are the linebackers. Wilson, the number 2 tackler on this Tennessee club. And in the secondary, it's a good group, and they're glad to get number 13, Terry Fairback. He and Austin at the corners. Noel and Jason Parker are the safeties. Well, we have a clock problem.
Ron, this is a transition year at Georgia. Jim Donnan enters as the head coach. He really is the offensive coordinator also, and it's the 3rd offensive coordinator that Mike Bobo has had while he's been at Georgia. So it's been a little slow for Mike Bobo in picking up the offense.
Jim Donnan, we saw just about 3 weeks ago. His second ball game was up in South Carolina. And, of course, they came out of the box, extremely high expectations, and they lost their first 2 ball games, which makes it very difficult. New coaching staff, new to the players, new players' faces, just tough on everybody.
Well, Ron, it's different because when we talked to the players from Georgia the other day, and you talk about all of a sudden a coaching staff recruits you, Ray Goff and the coaching staff recruits you here, then all of a sudden, a year later or 2 years later or 3 years later, whatever, it depends on what year they're in, a new man walks in with new coaches, new ideas, new offenses, same defense, but yet the adjustment for how to react to the coach and the players is difficult. And now I think you can officially say the transition year is over. 4 games, you ought to know now exactly what you expect out of each other.
Well, the only thing that's really unpredictable right now is the big clock. The stadium clock is stuck on 15, so it would appear that what we're going to have to do is they'll have to keep it on the field until they can get Mickey's right hand to move here. It is stuck at the top at 15. So this is great. You have the 85,000 going nuts, both teams going crazy, emotions are high, and then the clock won't work. It's like the coach giving you the greatest speech ever and the door's locked. You can't get out on the field.
Well, the door is unlocked now, so they're ready to go. They're going to keep the time on the field, I believe, is what he's saying.
Bill Goss is the referee tonight. So we're set to play football. A second down and 5 as he put it squarely on the 25.
Excuse me. Behind the line. You too.
That's Brown in motion. Counterplay to Edwards, hit in the backfield, and it's Bill Duff, the junior out of Delran, New Jersey, who was there to spoil that one.
Ron, the other important thing for Mike Bobo tonight is to locate Leonard Little before every snap, because UCLA double-teamed Leonard Little on every play, whether it was a pass or a run. So much respect for Leonard Little. Leonard Little, now all of a sudden Tennessee's moving him around against Ole Miss. He just created havoc, as you can see. He started the second half and just really was able to take Ole Miss out of that ball game.
Third down, and of course they need the 30 after losing 3. Bobo under pressure, going to be sacked by Jonathan Brown. Also there to help out Bill Duff, but it was Brown who got there first, and Tennessee's defense does what they wanted.
Well, it's interesting when you talk to Jim Donnan, and he said he looked at last year's tape, and Mike Bobo showed so much mobility, and then he hurt his knee last year, and he just doesn't have the mobility that he had last year, and he can't get away from the blitz.
Langley stands back to punt at the 5-yard line. So Georgia looked great. 5 yards in the first play. Good blocking. Now they're going to have to kick it away. Terry Fair is the man back deep. Good driving spiral. Fair catch is called for and is made at the 35. So as the visiting white uniforms with the orange numerals come on the field, this is the way they line up. The familiar number 16, Peyton Manning. He will have behind him Chester Ford at fullback, and of course Jay Graham at tailback. The wide receivers, Dustin Moore, Marcus Nash, and the go-to guy, Joey Kent out of Huntsville, Alabama, number 11. Up front, the only question mark for this ball team. Teague, Robinson, Gibson, Robert Poole, and Chad Clifton. And don't be surprised if Riley and Hamilton both play a lot tonight. Interchangeable in that line. Straight ahead with a running play, Jermaine Smith will step up and make the hit on Jay Graham. Snellings, Ferguson, and Smith, and boy, Joe Kine smiles a lot about 92 and 98. Derek Bird making up the remainder of the down 4. The linebackers, a good active group. Tolbert, Greg Bright leads the SEC in tackles, and of course there's Brian Jones, number 56, out of Jacksonville. In the secondary, the biggest surprise and the most improved group, Ford, Sipe, Johnson, and Bailey. Corey Bailey is the veteran back there, number 27, and he's only a junior out of Forest Park, Georgia. They fake the counter. Manning slips down at the 30.
Tennessee is looking for balance out of their offense. They lost by graduation 4 fifth-year seniors in the offensive line. The offensive line in the first 4 ball games hasn't really gelled like Phil Fulmer would like. They'd like a little more balance with the run game.
So with that loss, it's going to be third down at just about 15. As you look at the rush offense last season compared to only 114.5 this year. 9 men in the box. Here they come. Manning's pass is caught at the 47-yard line. Peerless Price, a sophomore out of Dayton, Ohio, moves the chains and, most importantly, silences this crowd for the moment.
Oh, Peyton Manning stayed right in the pocket. You saw him shuffle his feet. He got his feet up under him, was able to deliver that pass over the middle to Peerless Price.
Good for 16 yards. Price stays in the ball game, comes to the bottom of your screen, joining at number 12, Marcus Nash. And it's a draw play. Graham puts a head down. He'll have 3, and for the first time tonight, let's check in with Mike Tirico. Hi, Michael.
Hello, Ron. Undefeated Arizona State at one point today was down 21. But they scored the last 21 points of the game, and they are about to close out UCLA 42-34 with time winding down in that one, although UCLA still has the ball, and they are at their own 35. Meantime, overtime is underway in the Cotton Bowl. Texas and Oklahoma tied at 24. Texas has the ball facing third down. We'll keep you updated on OT. Ron?
Wow. Interesting score from the Cotton Bowl there. Very interesting as far as Arizona State, too. Quite a comeback if they can hold on. They run the reverse. Joey Kent. But the linebacker and Brian Jones is outside along with Derek Bird, but it was Jones who hit him first.
Ron, the one area that Georgia has to take away is the running game. They cannot afford Tennessee to get the running game going because that sets Peyton Manning up in play-action passing game, and he is so dangerous when he's faking the run and then dropping back. And they have a defense, Georgia, to be able to stop this Tennessee offensive line and the running game.
Jay Graham goes to the sideline. 3 wide receivers. You see the percentage on conversions this year. Manning, quick release, got him right over the middle. Joey Kent, just shy of the 35. Ron Bailey makes the play defensively. And, Mike, that's exactly what you're talking about, that he can burn you quickly on.
Well, he's such a quick release, and you all of a sudden you give a no-back set. Peyton Manning sets up, 5-step drop, watches release, the quick release to Joey Kent. Joey Kent's the go-to receiver. The senior's having a great year against Ronald Bailey for the completion, and it moves the chains.
Good for 13 yards. Deepest penetration by Tennessee tonight as he owned it at the Bulldog 36. Early going first quarter, and we'll check on the time for you as the big clock is out. Manning in the play action, throws this one complete. Inside the 30 to Fearless Price. Bumped out of bounds. Johnson and Glenn Ford outside, and right now they're just kind of chipping away.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. When you get your running game going, and you have a quarterback like Peyton Manning, he can hurt you with the drop back game, but where he really hurts you is in play action because he takes a lot of pride in his ball handling. A lot more probably than a lot of quarterbacks I've seen around the country. And he's able to fake and hold linebackers and get the ball to the outside.
Second down and short. Almost a down to play with, so to speak. But they try to get the first down, and he will.
Ron, last year, this is what Peyton Manning did to various teams in the conference, and then they had changes in their coordinator job. I don't say that Peyton Manning made those changes, but that's the statistics of a quarterback that went through an SEC group and had so much success. 11 touchdown passes. So there's some new coordinators looking at him this year. Of course, Joe Kynes has looked at him for 2 straight years, the defensive coordinator at Georgia.
They're going to have to hurry. Sartell was late coming in off the bench. 2 tight ends. They run the counter play and hit in the backfield. Jermaine Smith is just a part of the Tennessee backfield. Graham had no place to go. How big is that play?
The strength of Georgia's defense is Jermaine Smith and Jason Ferguson, the 2 defensive linemen. What he did was he just made a quick move to the outside. Jermaine Smith just made a little move on the guard. Now, again, movement will bother this offensive line.
Well, they just came right in behind the 2 linemen who were coming down the line to block. So it's second down at about 15. 10th play of the drive. Manning right over the middle. He's got incomplete. His tight end, Dustin Moore, is tackled by 45, Greg Wright.
Let's go back to that last play, Ron, where Jermaine Smith was able to get into the backfield. Watch him. He's just going to move to the right, a little slant, little loop to get away from the offensive guard. No one picks him up. He's able to get in the backfield and cause that sack on Jay Graham.
Third down, and the line to make for Tennessee is just outside the Georgia 15, and the crowd is standing in our end zone to the right. Manning may have to call timeout. Nope, he got it off. Pass right over the middle, has him open, and that is a Tennessee first down. Oh, my goodness. Andy McCullough just split right in between the Georgia defenders.
Ron, most quarterbacks would have done just what you said. They would have taken time out. But, see, Peyton Manning is so much in control. Looks off the safety and the linebacker, Greg Bright, number 45, gets that ball into Andy McCullough.
Mike, I think he even saw what he was pointing to the running back with was make sure you pick him up.
Oh, yeah, he was showing the blitz. He was trying to coach everybody on the field in 25 seconds to that play.
5 of 5, 57 yards to open the game. Price in motion. Play action. Looking. Still looking. Lops it. Touchdown, Tennessee. Dustin Moore.
ball on an incomplete pass, I believe now, Ron.
First they say touchdown, now they say incomplete on further review.
Had Dustin Moore versus a linebacker. Good play action fake again by Peyton Manning. Let's see where his feet come down at. He's out of bounds.
13th play of the drive. Graham. Almost to the 7-yard line as Greg Bright stops that play. And again, let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike?
All right, Ron, updating the overtime game in the Cotton Bowl. Texas nearly had a touchdown on a miraculous play in the end zone. Instead, they have to settle for Philip Dawson's 42-yard field goal. Oklahoma ball at the 10, down 3 in OT.
You know when you score a field goal and you have the ball first, the pressure's on your defense now.
No question about it. 3 of 3 in third down conversions for Tennessee. Payton incomplete. Just enough, I think Ford got just enough on it to interfere either with the vision or the ball to Price. And Hall will come in to go for the 3 points.
Peyton Manning setting up again. Feet moving. Gets a lot under the ball. Glenn Ford, number 7, working against Peerless Price. He's able to get a hand in there, deflect that ball away.
24-yard attempt. Good pass and a good kick. So there's a timeout on the field as Tennessee goes on top for this first quarter. 3-0. We'll be right back. Check more on that in just a moment. Hines cuts in front at the 7. And he'll be stopped at the 20-yard line. And there's a timeout. Around 6 minutes left in this opening quarter, so we'll go away for a moment. That scoring drive, 15 plays, 59 yards, 8 passes, and 6 runs. We'll get you the official time when they give us that. Because of the clock problems, we don't have it yet. Edwards turns it up, 5, close to 10, and let's check in again with Mike Tirico. Mike.
Ron, it is over in the Cotton Bowl. All the overtime yards belonging to James Allen of Oklahoma, including this game-winning touchdown. The first win for John Blake. 20-point underdog. Oklahoma wins in OT by 3.
From the 28. Well, Mike, there's an old expression in Texas that probably will be very handy to a lot of folks, and that is that for John Makovic's kind of like wearing a straw hat to the Christmas party. That ain't going to go over too big. Edwards bounces outside on the right and is going to be stopped for a loss. That's a nice job defensively as Jester, number 45, the senior out of Delray Beach, Florida, is there to stop him.
Well, we talked to Robert Edwards the other day at practice, and he said he's had 4 different running back coaches in 4 years here. So he's had a problem getting acclimated to each one, and then they're gone. So he has a new one this year, a new offense, and he's like Mike Bobo, just trying to get used to what Jim Donnan wants in the offense.
4 carries for Edwards tonight for a total of 9 yards. Georgia with a 3rd down, and they need to take it across the 31-yard line.
Hines Ward's at quarterback.
Shotgun formation, and Ward going to run it. 1 man.
Ron, they moved Hines Ward in at quarterback, and now you get the sprint out. Now you got an athlete at quarterback. You kind of kept the defense of Tennessee sleeping a little bit, then you get down the field. Now, they can do this maybe 1 or 2 times, and then Tennessee should be able to make the adjustment once he gets in the shotgun.
So a new wrinkle by Georgia. That's good for 32 yards and a first down at the Tennessee 40. You name it, he can do it. Kind of like a procurement guy in the military. Whatever you need, he can find it. Got his pass complete to Corey Allen. They're going to spot him down at the 29-yard line. Raven Austin defensively. And I'll tell you, Adam Meadows is shaken up and went down, and now is up and is limping back to the huddle. We'll keep a close eye on him, the left offensive tackle.
Ron, the key for Georgia to have any shot in this ball game is when they get down inside the 40, the 30-yard line, they need to score in sevens. They cannot afford field goals because Peyton Manning in that offense is going to score some points. Mike Bobo has to get him in the end zone for touchdowns.
11 yards on that last play. 3-0 Tennessee. Georgia threatening. Bobo, little stop and go, puts it up, and it's incomplete at the 5. Well, the Deuce has the best in college football next Saturday at 12:30. Iowa takes on number 10 Penn State and Curtis Enos. Then at 6 o'clock, Mississippi tries to stop Freddie Kitchens and Alabama. And at 9 o'clock, the BYU Cougars head to Tulsa. All next Saturday on ESPN2.
This is the type of play where you expect, if it's Tennessee, to go to Joey Kent. I'd expect Juan Daniels to be a big part of this offensive play tonight.
Leonard Little, number 1 on the sideline right now. Again, Hines Ward at quarterback from the shotgun will run the play. It goes inside the 25-yard line as Tyrone Hines makes the stop. Mike, now what does he do as far as putting him in there? Just a change of pace?
Well, you've got a quarterback like Mike Bobo who's not very mobile, so you like to blitz him up inside. Now all of a sudden they surprise you and put Hines Ward in the shotgun. If you've got a blitz going on and he gets outside of it, he's going to make you pay like he did on that first play when he ran outside to the left side. A good addition in the offense tonight. A good move by Jim Donnan. Of course, everybody's copying Cordell Stewart, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
So Bobo is at quarterback. And number 19, Hines Ward, he is bottom of your screen right now. Blitz. Bobo throws to Ward, just overthrown at the end zone line. And it was Nick Jester who made him rush just enough.
Well, Nick Jester put tremendous pressure. And again, we talked about the mobility problem with Mike Bobo after the injury, so you want to pressure that type of quarterback. Nick Jester came on the blitz. Number 45, you're going to see him come from the outside, able to get to Mike Bobo, but he had time to throw that football, just overthrew Hines Ward.
Cap Hines will attempt this field goal. It will be placed down at the 32, so a 42-yard attempt. Pressure is on. He got his kick away. No good. 42-yard attempt goes awry. Tennessee 3-0. We'll be right back. Play action to Graham. Deep over the middle. Got his man open. Complete at the 44-yard line. Alonda Sims comes over to make the tackle on Marcus Nash. We saw Bobo talking on the phone just a moment ago, and oftentimes you say, hey, what are they talking about? David Cutcliffe is the offensive coordinator. Let's hear the conversation between he and Manning just before this series started.
Well, we got to have energy, buddy. We got to get it done, you know, in the right way. Don't take any chances down there in the orange area.
Yes, sir.
We've got to get it done. We got to be smart about everything we do.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Okay.
So let's get with the program, buddy.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
And so far they have. Jay Graham off left tackle, takes it to the 40. Brian Jones is down at the bottom of the stack. You know, interestingly enough, David Cutcliffe said that between last year and this year, maybe it was even last season, that he said that Peyton Manning had made him a better coach because he came in so well prepared and with so many questions on Monday. David said, I better have spent a lot of time having answers from my work on Sunday to be prepared for him on Monday.
With the 20-hour rule, Peyton Manning watches a lot of film over the weekend on the next opponent, and he gets 8 pages of questions, and he's ready for David Cutcliffe on Monday morning.
Big opening, right side. Graham caught by the jersey as Greg Bright will pull him down, and it appeared that Graham was about to break that thing open. But he'll have it to the 35, and it'll be 3rd and 2.
5-yard gain on the play.
David looking from top of the stadium. That's an interesting comment, though, from a coach. And I know when Peyton came in as a freshman, something that the upperclassmen said, the upperclassman quarterback, was that it was embarrassing to them that sometimes when a question arose that Peyton gave the answer. They'd say, shut up and let the coach tell us. Rolls it and delivers, and let's see where they're going to spot him out. Yep, they'll give him the first down. Joey Kent being ridden out of bounds by Ron Bailey.
Boy, he hurts you in so many ways. He hurts you with drop back, play action. Then all of a sudden you sprint him out, and he's got good feet to get to the outside and watch him get his shoulder square and then find Joey Kent on the sideline. Good accuracy. Here's Joey Kent being held by Ronald Bailey. Gets free, and that ball's right on the break.
So it is a Tennessee first down. They stretched out the chain to make sure, and they'll move it across the way. We have just over 1 minute to play. Opening quarter. It is Tennessee 3 and Georgia nothing. On the last drive, if you just joined us, Georgia drove the ball well, particularly when they inserted Hines Ward in a shotgun at quarterback. But the drive died, and he missed a 42-yard field goal. Counter. Graham does not get the paving block that he needed. You could see Chad Clifton out there, but there was more than one red shirt as Tootle and Derek Bird messed up that play. This defensive front, as I talked about Joe Kynes, the thing that he said they have to stop in Tennessee tonight, the big yardage after the catch. Try to take the run out of the offense, he said, but make sure that the secondary doesn't allow him to catch a 10 and turn it into a 60. Manning's throw, he's there again. That's Mark Levine out of the backfield, the sophomore out of Dallas.
They're working on the linebackers underneath with the backs coming out of the backfield. That's Brian Jones, 56. It's a 218-pound linebacker working against Mark Levine. See the success Peyton has had, over 15 yards. He's perfect right now.
Third down and 5. The line to make for Tennessee is the Georgia 23. You see 45, Greg Bright stepping up into the line. Will he come or will he back off? He stays at home. But they get pressure up the middle, and the pass is caught by Kent. And he's loose, and that's just what Kynes was talking about. Now there is a flag down, and from where it's thrown, it could be offensive holding. And that's going to be it. But that is what Joe Kynes was trying to make a point of. He said that's where this volunteer team can give you so many headaches.
Well, Joey Kent can do that to you. He can turn a short pass into a touchdown very quickly.
Holding by the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat the down.
Tennessee's offensive line, again, getting called for holding, taking away a touchdown. It's a young offensive line, but you'd expect now that they're getting a little bit better. They had a good game against Ole Miss, a little more confidence in their offensive line.
But these two defensive tackles can cause you to hold, regardless of how veteran you are and how good.
Two excellent defensive tackles on the guards at Tennessee.
Manning lofts it. Got him. That thing looked as though it went right through Joey Kent's hand. I'll be anxious to see the replay.
Well, that ball couldn't have been thrown any better. I don't know if Alonda Sims got his hand on it or not. Joey Kent was wide open. Peyton Manning under pressure was delivering the football. And Alonda Sims is in coverage. Let's see if he got his hand on the football. No, just went right through Joey Kent's hands.
Oh, my goodness. Binion at the 45, and he'll try to loft this one, and he does. Good skyward kick. Hines Ward back deep, but he runs away from it, and look where Tennessee's going to down it. Georgia's going to take it over with horrible field position.
A mistake by Hines Ward. You have to fair catch that football. You got a 10-yard rule. You put your heels on the 10-yard line. You fair catch everything in front of it. Do not let that ball bounce.
36 yards on the kick. won't look like much in tomorrow's box score of this one, but boy, it is huge as the Bulldogs are 95 yards away, and we have 3 seconds left to play in this first quarter.
Well, Hines Ward won't make many mistakes on a football field. Jim Donnan said he's great football sense, but he made one there letting the ball bounce.
Edwards gets by a tackler in the backfield as the horn sounds, and that's the end of the first quarter. So as they change ends of the field, Tennessee 3-0. But they lead only 3-0. They need for the defense to step up now. Bobo rolls the pocket and overthrows Larry Brown.
Leonard Little is coming back on the field now, Ron. Here's where he's dangerous when you get a team in 3rd and long inside their own 10-yard line. We talked about earlier, he destroyed Ole Miss and Tommy Tuberville's offense last Thursday night.
Mike, those eyes, you always talk about, you know, the eyes of a tiger, the athletes that have got those great eyes. You were talking about yesterday after coming off the practice field visiting with him.
He has great vision. He knows what's going on around him all the time.
3rd down, and they need the ball at the 15.5-yard line. And there he comes. They throw it up and in and out of the hands of Juan Daniels. Number 9, Torrey Noel, was right there, but Daniels was very close to catching that football.
Ron, Georgia has 2 very good offensive tackles, Matt Stinchcomb and Adam Meadows. And Leonard Little is going to work against those tackles all night. This is Stinchcomb. He's able to get his hands on Leonard Little and not allow him past him to get to Mike Bobo. Good pass protection.
Max Langley gets the kick away, and he gets flattened, but no flag. Tennessee runs away from it. This is going to wind up a real plus for Georgia. Well, catch NFL Countdown tomorrow as Boomer and the boys start your day off absolutely right. They'll take a look at the relationship that develops between a quarterback and a wide receiver. Also, the first time Jimmy Johnson and Marv Levy would have met since the Super Bowl. And the question is, Brian Cox making a new home in Chicago tomorrow on the NFL Countdown. Ron Franklin along with Mike Gottfried and Kellen Winslow from Between the Hedges, Sanford Stadium, Athens, Georgia. 3-0. Tennessee leads. Levine crosses the 50 in the vicinity of the 46, which is right at a 10-yard gain, and Corey Johnson finally came up in the secondary to stop him.
Ron, that's the respect that Tennessee has for Jermaine Smith and Jason Ferguson, the 2 tackles defensively that are lined up on their guards. They're trying to go outside, trying to throw the ball outside to try to wear down these 2 defensive tackles. Both of them big. Jermaine Smith 275, Jason Ferguson 305. But until you get them running a little bit, it doesn't open the run game inside. You need to tire them out a little bit.
And it is the first down as the clock is whistled back in. We're about to go into 14 to play until the halftime. It's one of the things that Jim Donnan said when he took over and looking at this ball club. He said our safeties were making way too many tackles. We wanted those folks up front to make more tackles.
Yeah, Corey Johnson was the leading tackler when Joe Kynes came here as a defensive coordinator. He said that's not good.
Quick pass over the middle, complete to the 37-yard line, and it's Jermaine Copeland, sophomore out of Harriman, Tennessee.
I think Jermaine Smith actually ran by Peyton Manning. Didn't know where the football was here because he was on Peyton Manning. Let's watch number 98, Jermaine Smith. I think he goes right by Peyton Manning, gets his hand on him, but it's being blocked by Brent Gibson. Now here's the quick release again by Peyton Manning. He's able to get that ball to Copeland.
So instead of taking a sack or having it knocked down, it's going to be a second down, about a yard and a half. Levine bounces outside. Who does he get popped? Alonda Sims and Glenn Ford combine on the stop.
Again, a wide play. That's where Tennessee's having success, getting outside away from those 2 defensive tackles. Now, Ron, here's what's important for David Cutcliffe and Tennessee offensively. They've been down here now twice. They've got 3 points, but they need to get a touchdown inside the red zone. Georgia is very difficult to score touchdowns on once you cross their 30-yard line. I think they've only given up one this year inside the red zone.
So the first down just outside the 31. Manning again. They roll the pocket. His man is covered, and he just throws it away.
That was good coverage by Glenn Ford.
Nash just had him all over him. It was Tolbert, number 28, the backside linebacker, junior, who was applying pressure. One of the few incompletions that he has had tonight.
Peyton Manning is 21-3 as a starter, and there's not a better quarterback in college football than number 16, Peyton Manning.
Second and 10, straight in the pocket, and here comes the screen. To the tight end, Moore. Lost the ball, but the officials say nope, he was down. Corey Johnson there defensively again.
You talk about quarterbacks. Danny Werfel today had a great day for Florida again. Steve Spurrier, he's putting great numbers up for the Gators.
Also a huge win by Florida State, and you have to wonder if now the Seminoles might not leapfrog back over Ohio State.
I don't think there's any doubt. Shouldn't be any doubt they go to number 2.
Third down conversions, 4 of 6. The situation. Tennessee needs to go to the Bulldog 22. Nobody in the backfield. Quick pass over the middle, and he has got his tight end, but he's short by 3 yards. Kirby Smart defensively hit Dustin Moore.
Same problem again for Tennessee. Not able to move the ball once they get down inside the 30-yard line, forcing another field goal attempt. Peyton Manning a little frustrated as he goes off the field.
So Jeff Hall, who hit on his last attempt. And this one's going to be placed down at the 32. Same distance that the Georgia Bulldogs missed from just a moment ago. All successful from 24 earlier. Plenty of distance on this one, and he also has the accuracy. It's good. So there's a timeout. 11 to 8 until halftime. Our new score, Tennessee 6-0.
Best plays Georgia's had on offense is when Hines Ward took the ball in his shotgun. Now they surprised Tennessee a little bit, but I would expect Jim Donnan to do a little bit more of that.
Chris Hogue with the kickoff. Ward. And he's got to be short of the 20. So you think they might go back to that a little bit?
I think every now and then it's a good sprinkle by Jim Donnan because it's a good surprise. But they need to get Mike Bobo. Mike Bobo is going to carry this football team as the quarterback. But only down 6-0. They haven't been able to muster much offense except for Hines Ward. They need a drive right here. And, of course, that man's in his way.
Yeah, he said yesterday, I was interested. Mike said, you're going to move you around a little bit? And he said, oh, I can't tell you our secrets. Mike said you just did.
Yeah, you'll see him several places other than just left defensive end. See him coming with the pressure. Bobo delivers, and he's got it. Nice job of coming back by Juan Daniels. And let's see where they're going to spot him as Raymond Austin made the tackle. Looks as though they're going to give him enough for the first down. Yep.
Good pressure by Leonard Little, but Mike Bobo was able to hit Juan Daniels, and you're right. Juan Daniels made that reception because he came back to the football.
Good for 11 yards.
Juan was highly recruited out of high school. Penn State, Florida, Florida State, all wanted him, but he decided on the Bulldogs.
Mike Bobo told me on Thursday, he said, you know, Juan is really important to get back because for everything Hines can do, Juan is just a little bit quicker. Draw play, and here's pass. Patrick pass. Now, here may be something that, and it's not putting Edwards down because he is an awfully good back, but this young man right here, no fear, he is very, very good.
Well, and don't forget Torrin Kirksey, who's suspended tonight. Now, they've got 3 tailbacks, and Robert Edwards, I know in talking to Jim Donnan, he said sometimes maybe he goes a certain point and gets a little tired, but Patrick Pass is a good changeup for the Georgia offense tonight.
Freshman out of Tucker, Georgia, 6'2", 200 pounds. It was 7 yards on his first play.
Playing both tailbacks in there together, and they use one as a pass receiver.
Edwards runs right by Little. 5, 10. He's loose. 15, 20. Edwards finally caught from behind, just shy of the 35-yard line, and Jason Parker could well have saved a touchdown.
Well, 2 years ago, Ray Goff made the move, and he switched him after spring practice, and the first time he touched the football, he ran for 50 yards, and Joe Kine said, we've seen the last of him on Georgia's defense. And this is the reason why. Leonard Little working up the field. Get a good block from Matt Stinchcomb, opens it up. Robert Edwards now takes the ball inside, cuts over the middle. Jason Parker is going to make the tackle, but not after he crosses the 50-yard line.
Counterplay. This time it's pass. And that's a nice job by Al Wilson, who's second on the team in tackles with 31. The sophomore out of Jackson stops that one.
He had a big ball game against Ole Miss also. Al Wilson is slowly becoming one of the best linebackers on this football team.
About to go under 9 minutes until halftime. It's Tennessee 6 and Georgia again threatening as they move the ball back in the first quarter, but then missed on a 42-yard field goal attempt. Bobo, you can be assured, knows where number 1 is. Quick out pass. Got Hines Ward wide open. He'll turn it upfield at the 26-yard line. And I believe he's going to have the Georgia first down.
Look at all three receivers real tight. Now Hines Ward breaks to the outside. Juan Daniels is able to move up the field and shield Hines Ward a little bit to catch the ball in the flat.
Mike, you hear that cheer as pass comes out of the ball game, and the crowd knows the potential that number 6 possesses. Bobo on 1st and 10 gives it to Edwards, and he's going to fight his way for almost 5 yards. Jonathan Brown is down at the bottom of the stack. Well, right now, Jim Donnan is getting everything he wants. Picking it with short passes, but the running game is working because every second that Peyton Manning and the offense are not out there, that's just time that they can't score.
But there's one thing he's not getting so far, 7 points.
Yeah.
That's what he needs right now. He needs Mike Bobo, not a field goal. He needs Mike Bobo to tack 7 on.
Daniels in motion, throws a paving block, and Edwards is close to the first down. In fact, from where that side judge has come in, I believe he's going to have it.
Selma Callaway, the fullback, really lit up the outside linebacker. Watch the fullback, number 32. Makes a very good block. You see the outside linebacker down here. That was blocked on Tyrone Hines, number 47. You're going to see him get knocked down. That opened the way for Robert Edwards.
So Callaway with a gigantic block. And Georgia looks at a situation that is 3rd down and about a foot to pick it up. Edwards now 8 carries, 45 yards. Packed house here between the hedges in Athens. We talk about great venues to do a football game. This is always one of those. Bobo straight ahead. Quarterback sneak. It's a Georgia first down. Well, can you feel it? Midnight Madness is coming. Monday, ESPN2 gets it going. Robin Roberts will take you to Cincinnati, Wake Forest, and Providence at midnight. And then at 1 o'clock a.m. on ESPN, Chris Fowler will show you Texas, Tulane, and St. Louis. And as always, a lucky fan from each school will get a chance to win free tuition for a year. That is, with a half-court shot. Tune in to Madness on Monday on The Deuce and also on ESPN. 9th play of the drive. Edwards looks for that block from Callaway and then just has to turn it upfield to get what he can, which is about 3 yards. Noel and Ron Green combining on that stop.
Well, Tennessee made a good defensive move there. John Chavis, just before the snap of the ball, cheated into an 8-man front. And because Mike Bobo had Selma Callaway in motion, I don't believe he could check out of that play. Caught him in a bad play. This is where Mike Bobo has to find a way to get the key into the end zone.
We are headed towards 6 minutes until halftime. Tennessee leads 6-0. The ball resting at the bottom tier 13-yard line, and it's 2nd down and 8, Georgia.
Comes pressure. He's going to check out this because the blitz is on for Tennessee right now.
Short drop. Fade. In and out of his hands, and Noel did a nice job of knocking it away from Juan Daniels.
Boy, he had it, Ron. They jumped into a blitz situation. Mike Bobo checked off. Had Juan Daniels against Torrey Noel on the outside, one-on-one. You're going to see the linebackers from Tennessee coming from the outside. Mike Bobo with a good throw, but Torrey Noel just hits his hand, knocks that ball loose. Good defensive play by Torrey Noel. Had to play corner last week against Ole Miss because Terry Fair was injured.
It is 3rd down, and they will go from a shotgun formation. Bobo's pass underthrown. Leonard Little was coming after him very, very quickly.
To me, this is the key in the ball game. I said it from the start. When you get against a team like Tennessee, can't settle for field goals and expect to win this ball game. Got to be able to punch the ball in when you get inside the 20-yard line. They had their shot with Juan Daniels. Just played very well by Torrey Noel.
Hamp Hines, see if he can convert on this one. It will be a 30-yard attempt from the right hash. And he got this one. .51 left until halftime at our new score. Tennessee 6-3. To drive. And this is Levine. And he'll take it just across the 21. Let's listen to that last conversation on the sideline between David Cutcliffe and quarterback Peyton Manning before this thing started.
You keep earning yours, and I want high percentage discipline. I don't want any panic or frustration or trying to make something happen. You let things happen.
Yes, sir.
We'll get there.
Yes, sir.
Just keep going.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Showed that just a couple of moments ago before Peyton came back out on the field. 11 of 15, 113 yards. Graham going to have 8. Boy, he got whacked, and kind of as though he had taken an injury when he got hit. Let's check in with Mike Tirico quickly. Mike?
Ron, over on the Deuce and in the ACC, it's Maryland, North Carolina, and quite a day or quite an evening for this passing combination. Chris Keldorf and L.C. Stevens. 3 touchdowns. There's the third. Heels lead by 14.
Okay. Heel offense has been very, very good this year. The only defense that really shut the door on them was of course, Florida State. But Florida State's done that to everybody they played this year. Manning, nice play action, right out in the flat. Got it complete to Nash before Tolbert makes the stop.
Peyton Manning is like Michael Jordan. When you play against Michael Jordan in basketball, I'm sure you say, hey, he's going to get a certain amount of points. The reason I say that Georgia has to score touchdowns is because Peyton Manning's going to eventually get this Tennessee team in the end zone. He's too tough to hold all the way. What Joe Kynes has been able to do so far is stop the run. He's been able to stop and make it a one-dimensional game.
See third in the NCAA, his numbers. About to go into 4 minutes until halftime. Nice job in the fake, and he goes on top, and he's got a man at the 15-yard line, incomplete, and now here comes the flag as Joey Kent was being guarded closely by Corey Johnson.
Ron, I'm not so sure Joey Kent shouldn't have caught that one, too. I mean, he had good coverage, but he might be having problems with the lights here because he's open down the middle. Peyton Manning with a throw. Of course, he's interfered with here. No,
yeah. Corey Johnson knocked that one away in Joey's defense. Now, the one down at the other end of the field, he just has to go right between his hands.
Good play fake again by Peyton Manning. It affects that safety when he sees and it thinks it's a run, and he freezes for a second. Then Joey Kent's running by him, and Peyton Manning's throwing the ball, lofting it over the safety's head.
Easy to tell what Joe Kynes thinks of number 27, though, because you just ask him about Corey Johnson, and he just goes on and on. He really likes him. He's the one who makes it go in it towards the secondary. Manning swings it out. Safety valve at the 50. Then at the 45-yard line is Graham, tackled by Ford. So Tennessee continues to chip away. Whatever is there, they'll take. They get 2 on that one.
This is Peyton Manning a play ago on a play fake. Good job. He hides the football, gives his open hand, now throws the ball deep down the middle. This was the interference on Joey Kent. Now this play where he throws the ball out to Jay Graham, but a good job by Georgia breaking up and making the tackle. Glenn Ford.
Right over the middle, got Kent. Joey gets whacked by Corey Johnson, but that's enough to move the chains again for Tennessee.
When you fake and you're a good play-action quarterback, the linebackers will be affected. Here's Jay Graham on a draw. Look at Greg Bright. He bites on the fake. Now all of a sudden, right behind the linebackers, taking the fake, Joey Kent's going to fit right behind the linebackers wide open. Now, I'd expect Tennessee to punch this one in, Ron. Now, they've been down here a couple times. And their coaches know what Georgia's doing on defense. I'd expect them to get in here.
Good for 19 yards as this time Manning goes from the shotgun for the end zone. And he just threw that one away as he had a lot of pressure. Jermaine Copeland, closest man to it. But right up the middle, 91, Derek Bird. And in fact, Derek gets up and kind of limps off the field, walking gingerly to the sideline.
Well, the pass receiver on that play, Jermaine Copeland, will be next year's quarterback for Tennessee if Peyton Manning decides to leave and go pro.
Benji Schuler comes in, number 81, of course, the brother of Heath, junior out of Bryson City, North Carolina. Manning right over the middle, has it complete to Moore, and Moore is going to take it down inside the 10-yard line. Let's check quickly with Mike Tirico. Mike.
Ron, a quick reminder, we'll be with you at halftime. 2 big games in the state of Florida. We'll have the highlights and reaction. The day in the Southeastern Conference, one of the winless teams overall was able to get its first win of the season, and the Ohio State scare, all coming up for you at halftime. We'll see you then.
Okay, Mike, we'll be looking forward to that. This play has been called back, and I apologize. I said it was Moore. It was not 86. It was 88. Andy McCullough. But all for naught as the penalty brings it all the way back to the 40.
Well, it was a good play call, a good throw by Peyton Manning, a good reception, but holding again has caused Tennessee a problem of taking them behind the 35-yard line.
Second holding call against the Volunteers. And we go under 3 minutes to play. Here's the guy he goes to when he needs it. Let's see if he does again. Deep over the middle, and Kent could not hold on.
Good fake again by Peyton Manning right behind the linebackers. Joey Kent. Here's the fake to Mark Levine. Holds the linebackers. Joey Kent right behind Greg Bright. Right in his hands. Can't bring it in.
I don't mean to get on Joey tonight, but that's 2 balls he should have caught, Mike.
Well, he'll catch most of them because he's an all-SEC receiver, but has missed a couple he should have had tonight.
Third down. They need to take it all the way to the 15.5-yard line. Not complete, and they'll get out of bounds. Ford will make the tackle on Peerless Price.
All that was is just to try to set up the field goal. Get a little closer for your field goal kicker. Georgia in a deep pass zone, able to find Peerless Price out there to set up the field goal.
Now let's see. Hall is putting his foot down where he wants the holder to be at the 35. So 45-yard attempt. Trying to put the balls back on top by 6. You see he's already been good on a couple tonight, 24 and 42. And he's got the distance on this one. And he's good. So Hall with his 9th point of the evening, and we'll take a break. The Volunteers 9 and the Georgia Bulldogs 3. Look at pass, and Hines Ward back deep for the Bulldogs. And that kick is going to bound into the end zone. And it looks as though, yep, we got a stoppage in play, so let's take it with them. 2:39 until halftime. We'll be right back. Very close on a second occasion when the tight end caught the ball, but he came down with a foot out of bounds. Bobo. Juan Daniels. Now, flag has been thrown, but I'm not sure that's defense. That might be a push on Juan Daniels.
Well, they ruled that it was incomplete. First of all, the official gave it was not a completed pass.
Offensive pass interference.
That's what they're going to call as offensive pass interference, and you'll see Daniels push off.
It's against Terry Fair. Juan Daniels working down the field. They get tied up. That's a little push there by Juan Daniels. But I tell you, Ron, I see more and more in college football that defensive backs are jamming receivers down the field. And they're going to have to change the rules a little bit on the outside.
Let's check in quickly with Kellen Winslow. Kellen?
Ron, I was talking to the team doctor for Georgia about Juan Daniels. He said he had a mild concussion, but he checked out on his mental skills. He checked out his motor skills and his neuropsychological skills, whatever that is, and all his tests he cleaned out on. Said he's healthy to play. He's fine. No new equipment for his helmet. He's going to play well.
Okay, well, as I mentioned, Kellen, he is extremely important to this Georgia offense. They got to have him. Draw play, Edwards going the wrong way, and he's going to be stopped at the 1.5. Billy Ratliff just messed up the whole thing. Also, Ron Green.
Boy, Billy Ratliff is an outstanding player. He's a linebacker out of high school, Magnolia, Mississippi. He wanted to go to Ole Miss, but Ole Miss was on probation, said, I'm going to go to Tennessee. But when he gets into ball games, things happen for Tennessee's defense. Former linebacker learning to play down.
Tennessee has called a timeout, Mike, to stop the clock because this is going to be a second down and forever for Georgia.
And they still have two timeouts.
Yeah, still got 2 left. So
they're going to force the punt eventually unless Georgia can get the first down.
Well, coming up at halftime, don't forget the GMAC halftime report. Number 3 Florida State against number 6 Miami. Dominant Florida in their ball game today against the guys from down in Baton Rouge. And the Sun Devils get a scare, but they are big enough to come back and shine brightly. All of that and more coming up on the GMAC halftime report. The thing that Jim Donnan wants to get out of here with right now, even if he gets away a poor punt, he just doesn't want to give up a cheapie to Tennessee and have them go in having picked up the first touchdown off a turnover or a block kick or something.
He wants to get this clock running right now, and he wants to stay away from Leonard Little.
2:18 to play. First half, 9-3. Tennessee leads Georgia. They got 28 yards to pick up the first down. And you can look for Tennessee, if this play is stopped, you could look for them to call that second timeout. It's Bobo to throw, and it's dropped for the tight end, Michael Taylor. Well, they don't have to use the timeout now.
No, but I think it's a good call.
Now there's a flag, Mike. I'm sorry, in the end zone.
I think it's going to be taunting on Tennessee because one of the Tennessee players was talking to Mike Bobo.
Sorry, didn't mean to.
No, I think that's going to be the call. I think the official makes a wise call here.
Dead ball foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense.
Boy, look at Philip Fulmer. He's sitting there saying, we had this thing set up just exactly the way we want. Didn't even have to use the timeout. Even with a good punt, could have it inside the 50-yard line, and a silly mistake.
Ron, I like the call, too, because I believe it was Jonathan Brown was talking to Mike Bobo after the play, and the official stepped right in and made the call. taunting him, and he made the call.
So the new line of scrimmage is up at the 27-yard line. It is third down, and they still need about 12.5 yards for the first. Bobo delivers, and he just threw that one away. He found an empty spot, and Bobo is down at the 5. He took quite a hit after he delivered the football.
Leonard Little pressuring from one side, gets some pressure up inside, and gets a late hit right there. Tyrone Hines, number 47, the linebacker, just ran through Mike Bobo.
Okay, so let's check out what happens here as the punt is going to be gotten away from the 3-yard line. The numbers on Bobo, by the way, 3 of 11, 32 yards in the first half. Short kick, but Tennessee is not going to get a return out of this, and it is going to go dead at the 50-yard line. So, as he comes on the field, what did Peyton Manning and his offensive coordinator David Cutcliffe talk about just a moment ago? Let's listen in.
Okay, let me ask something real quick on your notes. I meant to ask you about on 2 man, Joe. You said 4-2 and 1 robber. You said like the pressure on like big plays.
Yeah.
Like on 3rd and 10.
Yes, anticipate the possibility of pressure in big plays.
All right. Well, they got 50 yards to put it in the end zone. They got 1 minute and 58 seconds showing on the clock with 2 timeouts remaining. Manning's pass to the sideline is caught. Only going to be good for about 4 yards, but Levine will stop the clock. And now the clock has continued to run. He did not get tackled out of bounds. 141, now 140. Right over the middle, there's Kent. And he's going to take it forward inside the 30. Now the clock will be stopped momentarily with the first down.
Still having trouble making the clean catch. Even though that ball was right in there, Joey Kent didn't pull it in right away.
Georgia making wholesale substitutions defensively. 123, now 122. Whistles and flags all over the place. It looked like Trey Teague, junior out of Jackson, Tennessee, came out of his stance.
Dead ball. False start on the offensive line. 5-yard penalty.
Clock running again. 116 and now 115. Manning swings it out of the backfield again. And they're going to be tackled in the field of play at the 30 as Glenn Ford did a nice job defensively on Jay Graham. And Tennessee will call one of their 2 remaining timeouts.
Georgia fans, make your plans now to attend the first ever Georgia Florida Holiday induction ceremony and lunches to be held Friday, November 1st at noon at Jacksonville's Mile Court Convention Center.
So, Mike, now they got 1 timeout left. They got 65 seconds. Who do you look for? Do you look for Kent or, hey, how about Peerless Price? He lit him up early.
I think you go right back over the middle to Joey Kent because Joey Kent's been open right behind the linebackers. Even though in this situation the play fake's not going to hold linebackers, you can run a receiver through to try to clear it out deep and then put it back underneath and still control the linebackers, but I'd still go to Joey Kent. And to still throw the ball over the middle.
Interesting, this first half was zooming by, and the last 5 minutes and 15 seconds is almost taken 22 minutes to play.
Georgia, Joe Kynes has had exactly the first half he wants. He shut down the run, and he's played great defense inside the 30-yard line.
He's down 9-3, but has kept them out of the end zone so far. Georgia gets back. Manning got it away. Pressured for the first time.
Maybe a lateral.
Now it looked as though it went forward, but you could be right. And Graham was out there in the area, but it was Ramon Cooper who was putting the pressure on.
Ramon Cooper, number 57, pressuring Peyton Manning. Now you got him moving. Now he makes a move and tries to get the ball out to Jay Graham, just underthrew it.
Kirby Smart is holding on to Manning as there's 22 seconds showing on the clock.
And they'll use their timeout now, Ron, to set up their field goal. Peyton Manning again with a wise move. Just pick up enough yardage to set your field goal kicker up again.
So number 4, Jeff Hall, who has all 9 points in this first half, comes on. And this one is going to be at around the 45, almost a 46-yard attempt.
Well, Joe Kynes, the first half, has just done an excellent job of keeping Peyton Manning off balance once they cross the 35-yard line. Joe talking to his defense right in the middle of that group. Had Tennessee made a couple mistakes, 2 holding calls have taken him out of field position, but that man right there, Joe Kynes, has called a very good defensive game against Peyton Manning. Now he needs the offensive side of the football to cooperate a little bit and get him back in this game.
Coach Fulmer paid Joe quite a compliment yesterday, but he said that every time you play him is going to have something different, and I don't think tomorrow night will be anything or a change from that he has. See if he can make it 4 of 4. 45-yard attempt. Certainly got the distance, and he missed it wide right. So a little bit of a lift emotionally for Georgia as they head in at halftime. Well, next Saturday, ESPN, the place to be at 12:30. Darnell Autry and number 15 Northwestern take on the Wisconsin Badgers. Then on primetime at 7 o'clock, East Carolina battles the Miami Hurricanes and Danielle Ferguson. But be sure and start off today with College Game Day at 11:30 a.m. and then the Residence Inn Scoreboard Show at 3:30 and 10 p.m. Edwards close to 10 yards in the play. Jason Parker makes the tackle. Short of the first down. Georgia right back to the line of scrimmage. Let's see if they're going to call a timeout and try to get one more play. Hey, Mike, this defense right here has played pretty doggone well.
I think both defenses, Tennessee's and Georgia's, have owned the first half, and we talked about it from the start of the ball game. If you can turn Tennessee's offense into one dimension, and you turn it in, Joe Kynes has turned it into Peyton Manning and Joey Kent in the passing game, because Tennessee has not been able to run the football the first half.
As the chain comes in, we got a couple of seconds. Kellen, let's check in with you down on the sideline.
And Mike, Ron and Mike, I just wanted to talk a second about the management of the clock by Tennessee. When they had 22 seconds left to go on the clock, why not run the clock down to 2 seconds, then call your last timeout, and your last play of the half is your attempt for the field goal. Either you get it or you don't, and you go in. But now here they are with 7 seconds left to go. Here comes a Hail Mary, and plus still 2 timeouts.
Well, we'll see if it cost them. As Joe talks on the sideline with his defensive guys, you can see 98 Jermaine Smith. Still standing by for Mike Tirico on a halftime report. Now the receivers have now checked in. Edwards will come out. Jay Graham says on the sideline, hey, let's get on into the locker room. This has been taking forever.
Ron, he's been absent in the first half. But they've been able to shut Jay Graham down.
So 3 wide receivers, top of your screen. Mike Bobo steps up, goes deep over the middle. Juan Daniels intercepted by Tennessee. That's Tyrone Hines, and it'll be tackled at the 24-yard line. So that is the end of the first half with our score, Tennessee 9 and Georgia 3. Now let's join Mike Tirico for the GMAC halftime report. Mike.
All right,
we'll kick it off to the Tennessee Volunteers, and Georgia trailing by 6, 9-3. Is the deep man. A flag is down, and he will go to one knee at the 5-yard line.
Georgia's offside, Ron. I'd imagine that Tennessee probably get him to kick it again.
Let's check in with Kellen while they realign for this kickoff in the second half. Kellen?
Well, Ron and Mike, one big factor this ball game is the play of the All-SEC wide receiver and All-American candidate, Joey Kent. Today, he's just not having a great day. We saw him earlier with a pass went right through his hand, and here, a very catchable ball from Peyton Manning that he normally would bring in. He's just not in sync today. He's just not having a great day. He brings in those plays. This is a different ball game.
Well, you're right, Kellen, and as Mike suggested, you have to wonder if maybe the lights are giving him just a little bit of problem. Anyway, those two that we saw there, not only catchable, but normally Joey Kent brings those in. Langley again to kick it off. It's Levine back at the 5-yard line this time, thinking that possibly he'll get a return on this one as the Bulldogs were offside. 86,117 on hand to see this clash between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Tennessee Volunteers. Now Levine will have the return from the goal line. Out of the 25 and close to the 30-yard line.
So they gained 10 yards on the penalty. Ron, one of the things that Tennessee did against Ole Miss in the second half is they decided to go to 2 tight ends to try to open up Jay Graham. Let's see if they use that strategy a little bit here in the second half.
75% for Manning in the first half. Completion rate for 181 yards. Quick out pass, a quick screen. And Marcus Nash close. Now here comes a flag in late at the 35-yard line. Brandon Tolbert defensively. My guy had looked up and didn't see what I thought maybe the flag was for.
They may get another holding on Tennessee.
Boy. All right, now see what he's hollering out, asking right there. He wants to know who. You and I have talked about this, and I wish in college football, I don't think you're making somebody a bad guy, but like in basketball, they announce who the foul's on, how many fouls he has, and then they blink his name and number up on the scoreboard. Just tell everybody. Then the coaches know, we know, the fans know, and there are no questions. I really think college football could help themselves by announcing more to the crowd instead of trying to say, hey, they're college kids, hush, hush. Basketball players will tell you, hey, they do it to us.
Well, I think it was on the other wide receiver on that play.
Running play and a big opening right up the middle. Corey Johnson will have to come up and make the stop on Graham. Now, that will make a world of difference, as Mike has been talking about, if they can get that going.
Well, they got to get Jay Graham going because that's the other dimension you need on offense. Good job by the offensive line just coming off and blocking the defensive lineman. You see number 92, Jason Ferguson, getting blocked. And then now when your safety has to make the tackle, that's Corey Johnson.
First down play, they fake it to Graham. Quick pass over the middle, and there it is. Got it open at the 40, at the 35, and inside the 30-yard line. Nash with a huge gain, and Brandon Tolbert is the man who was putting pressure on.
He's pushed out by Tolbert.
Ron, you talked about when you get a run going by Jay Graham, then you come right back, fake to Jay Graham, linebacker step up, then you get the ball to Marcus Nash. Here's the fake. Watch Greg Bright, number 45. He has to step just up for a minute for the run. Marcus Nash right behind him makes the catch. And then he gets outside the picket fence. Joey Kent gets a block.
See, Mike, he got 22 yards after the reception, as Graham is going to go inside the 20. Corey Johnson again. But
better,
again, what Joe Kine talked about, yardage after the catch.
Better mix right now for Tennessee because they're trying to get Jay Graham involved in this football game. You know, against Ole Miss, that was his first 100-yard rushing game of the season. Had trouble against UCLA. Couldn't run the football because UCLA was moving around that young offensive line.
Well, for some reason on the sideline, they've got fourth down. Graham, that's a nice adjustment as he'll go inside the 15 and down around the 14. Brian Jones will make the stop.
Before the Ole Miss game, David Cutcliffe sat down with Jay Graham and told him, he said, you're trying to stop and you're starting and you're trying to take every run for a touchdown as you look at his rush chart here. But he said, just give us 4 yards rushing on every attempt. And if it comes that you break it, you break it. But run hard and give us 4 yards.
So they don't pick it up, and it is third. The down marker, as we mentioned, for some reason had fourth up there, which could not possibly have been right.
You get knocking on the door so many times. I said the last time Tennessee was down, I expected them to get in. I expect them to get in here again. Unless they get a penalty again, they should be able to solve this defense. Now that Jay Graham's running the football.
Brent Gibson, number 58, the senior out of Decatur, comes out over the football and straight ahead with Manning. And he will have the first down. Greg Brake covers him up. So the Volunteers with a first down at around the 12.
Exactly the same thing they did against Tom Tuberville's Ole Miss defense. Came out the second half and established number 25, Jay Graham. And when you can establish him, you just have so many options after the run games there. I'd come right back with Jay Graham.
Sartell in the ball game. You can see him lined up. He is wing to the left side, top of your screen. Graham at the 5, still driving. He's going to take it down to the 3, maybe the 2-yard line. What a second effort. And Chester Ford give him a star for a nice block up front.
Well, Mark Bradley, the offensive line coach, I'm sure challenged the offensive line, said we have to run the football. They get a good double team. Good double team block, good block on the linebacker, and you're right to Corey Johnson, the free safety again to make the tackle.
So it is enough for the first down. First and goal. The ball at the 2-yard line. Tennessee 9-3 and trying to stretch it out to a 16-3 lead. Right up over the top. Ford. And they say inches short. And let's check in with Kellen real quick. Kellen?
Ron and Mike in the locker room at halftime, the defensive coaches talked about the opening drive in the third quarter. They admonished the defense, do not let what's happening right now happen to them, or Tennessee comes out and drives this ball down the field and puts it in the end zone.
Well, especially, Kellen, the way you're playing on offense, you can't allow Peyton Manning so many opportunities.
Ford, Eric Lane, and Graham are all in the backfield. And it's Graham right over the top for the touchdown.
This is a 2-point conversion play, too. You're up by 12 now. You really should go for 2, and that's exactly what Phil Fulmer's calling for. The first drive of the second half usually sets the tempo. Now they put the ball in the left hash, Ron, so you'd expect Peyton Manning to roll to the right to get a little bit more field. Now he may throw back to the short side, but you expect something to come to the wide side of the field.
So you see Nash break the huddle, also coming out there, Copeland and Andy McCullough. It's Copeland in motion. They give it to him. Now he's looking to throw. Pumps it, then delivers the pass incomplete. McCullough's the man that he wanted, and it's overthrown. So there's a timeout on the field. 11:31 left in this third quarter. With our new score, Tennessee 15 and Georgia 3. Look at pass, and also Hines Ward. Chris Hogue kicks it off for the Volunteers. Good one this time. And Ward says it's mine from the 1. Oh, my goodness, does he take a shot. You take a look at the scoring drive. Westmoreland makes the tackle. 8 plays, 70 yards. Jay Graham, 5 carries, 37 on the drive, and he has a touchdown. They use just about 3.5 minutes. And again, Peyton is on the phone talking with his offensive coordinator up high in the press box. And I would remind you that we enjoyed having that conversation between David Cutcliffe and Peyton in the first half, but we agreed that it would only be one half because we didn't want to get into a strategy thing as far as Tennessee is concerned and have them give away any trade secrets that they didn't want. So anyway, David and Peyton are still talking, though. And I would imagine happily after that drive. Mike Bobo, the junior out of Thomasville, swings the pass out, and this is pass. He puts the head down, hurdles the 10, and is out to the 12. Terry Fair upended him.
Well, we talked to Mike Bobo, and he talked about his third offensive coordinator in 3 years. And he said his dad's a high school coach. He called him, and he unloaded on him. He said, I'm just not picking it up as fast. And his dad told him, he said, you get in the office, learn this new offense, spend more time, and as soon as you figure it out, it'll be like a light bulb. It'll come on for you.
Yeah, he said he visited with his dad a lot, saying, hey, give me some solace here. Help calm me down a little bit because I feel a little lost, left out. There he throws it complete. Hines Ward, he is attacked on that tackle at the 17 by Tyrone Hines. The other thing that Mike said was even obvious to himself in looking at last year's Tennessee game, Mike, he said, I could tell I had a lot more mobility then before I had the knee injury and the surgery.
You know what he mentioned with that also is he said, I knew the offense well, and I knew when the play was over and when to take off, and I'm not sure right now with this new offense. So I think it's a combination of mobility may be down a little bit. Now Hines Ward back to quarterback.
And so they don't change the alignment to tip their hand. That's Mike Bobo who comes out at wide receiver. Hines Ward drills it, almost has it intercepted. That would have gone for 6 points Tennessee as Ward let that one fly on him.
Well, when you do something like this, about the first 2 plays, you may catch Tennessee, surprise them a little bit, but about the third time, they're going to be able to check to a defense that they want to play against Hines Ward. Hines Ward rolled out. The ball just took off for him. He released it. Just high release, almost picked off.
Raymond Austin, I hate to tell Tennessee fans, but you can see that thing got in there a little quickly. Took that shot right there, and it's Raymond who is still down. They just got Terry Fair back from an ankle injury, and now Austin, the other corner, is shaken up. And now it looks as though he's going to come off on his own, which is good news. So it's 4th down, and that means Langley comes on, and Georgia's going to have to kick this thing away. Tennessee stands to get pretty good field position out of this one. Tremaine Copeland back deep. It's returnable from the 46, and he goes down at the 49. Take a commercial break. 9:45 to play in the third. Tennessee by 12. And it is imperative for Joe Kine's defense to keep Tennessee out of the end zone. They could blow it wide open right here. Graham going to take it for about 3. Jason Ferguson will send him backwards. Also Greg Bright.
It's been the difference in the second half. The first drive of the third quarter, good mix by Peyton Manning and his play calling from the sidelines from Philip Fulmer. And Jay Graham looks like a different back here in the second half.
Going to be forced outside, never able to turn the corner as Graham is grabbed by Glenn Ford. That is a really nice job. Well, ESPN's National Hockey Night continues from Madison Square Garden with a rematch from last year's playoff. Mario Lemieux leads the Pittsburgh Penguins against Wayne Gretzky and his new team, the New York Rangers. And this will be the first meeting in 3 years. National Hockey Night this Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern Time.
Joey Kent, you probably figure that that's going to be one of his primary receivers on this throw.
Got plenty of time on the play clock. On 3rd down, Manning drills it complete. And that'll be enough for the first down to McCullough inside the 35. And Mike, he bobbled the ball just a little bit. I think they are having trouble picking it up.
They may have, but Peyton Manning really doing a great job. Watch his footwork here as he steps back. Now, a lot of people have called me and they've talked about different reporters and so forth. The one that he has what somebody referred to as happy feet. Let me tell you something. If he has happy feet, I'd like to have them, because what he's doing is just shuffling to try to find a throwing lane. That's what he's taught. He's taught every day to keep those feet shuffling.
There's your draw play. This is Levine, hit by Greg Bright. Greg, of course, was an outside linebacker, and it's been an easy change for him to the move to the middle.
When you talk about your quarterback, you want him moving his feet so that if the rush comes, he can slide to the right, he can slide to the left, he can slide up inside and find the throwing lane. There's nobody any better coached than this quarterback right here, Peyton Manning. He's coached on the fundamentals.
240, 21 out of 27. Big pressure up the middle. Reverses out and then goes for the end zone. And he's got a man for a touchdown. Number 11, Joey Kent. No trouble seeing that one.
That's why I said early that you have to, when you get inside the 20 and 30-yard line against Tennessee, you got to get sevens, because he's like a time bomb waiting to go off. I mean, you can't stop him the entire ball game. And especially with the running game effective in the second half, Peyton Manning is on a different course here in the second half in Athens, Georgia.
Well, it's obvious that he has worked on his footwork. You saw he reversed that one out and was impressive as he got away from the charge of the defensive lineman.
Well, it shows you what a good athlete he is. He's getting pressure. Joey Kent's going to be on the middle receiver. Going to break down the corner. Now Peyton Manning rolls, sets his feet, throws the ball to the corner. There's Joey Kent. Great on that football against Corey Johnson.
Well, you know, the key to Peyton's success is simple. Sound mechanics. It starts from the bottom, but that's what you're talking about. Go for it.
Just kind of moving in the pocket. You know, you see some guys that kind of stay flat-footed. I just don't feel like I can do that. I feel like I just got to have a little movement just to stay loose when he's open and just fire. Instead of staying flat-footed, it's just kind of having a little bounce to you, just ready to throw. You know, it's not happy feet, it's not nervous feet, it's just moving in the pocket, relaxing, so you're ready to throw when the guy comes open.
And the best analogy you can draw to it is a guy in tennis when he returns serve. You see him with feet in concrete and he gets killed. You got to be moving and set for it. Same way when you got a 290-pounder coming at you. This is pass. He'll return it from the 7. Mike, this kid right here is going to be a star before he leaves. We'll talk more about it. Mike Tirico, what do you have for us? Speaking of stars.
Ron, I have this McDonald's breakaway taking us out to Southern California, where the Trojans had a 14-0 lead. Keith Smith, the quarterback for Arizona, is out. So Brady Battington, touchdown pass to Richard Dice, who looked hurt but walked off with some help. USC's lead 7 in the 4th.
So things beginning to percolate out west on the late games. Of course, we're Eastern time. 7:47 on the clock at just after 9 o'clock in Athens. Tennessee on top, 22-3. This is Edwards. He'll go across the 30 to the 33. Nick Jester defensively.
On the last touchdown, Peyton Manning, you're going to see the rush by Georgia. You're going to see him escape in the shotgun so he can see the pressure. Now the pressure comes up inside. He's able to move away from what the key is here. Stop it right now, right there. He's able to gather, not continue to run, but he's able to gather right here to get enough underneath in his feet to throw that ball down the end zone to Joey Kent.
Bobo. Nice job in the pocket. Beautiful pass. Juan Daniels couldn't hold on. Terry Fair with the cover.
That's as well as you can play pass defense against Juan Daniels. Terry Fair was right on top of him, punched the ball out at the last second. That's good coverage by Terry Fair, number 13.
Yeah, they're glad to get him back.
Ron, if they do not get a first down here, the dike has sprung a leak because they're in trouble.
Yep.
The track meet has begun.
Small is in at wide receiver. He is right there at the bottom of your screen, number 4. 2 of 8 on third down conversions for the Bulldogs. Bobo's pass complete. Corey Allen tackled after he picks up the first down by Terry Fair. And let's see, they're going to put it at the 43.
Well, a nice throw by Mike Bobo. You need good pass protection. Matt Stinchcomb, number 79. Georgia's got 2 very good tackles. They got good size. He's 6'7", 280, working on Leonard Little.
And he's only a sophomore.
From Wilburn. We got to drive there yesterday, didn't we?
A couple times, I believe.
Quick pass over the middle. Incomplete. Whew. Near disaster. Allen is the one who it was intended for, and Torrey Noel came up and applied the wood.
That's the one you can get your bell rung on that if they lead you in there, right into the middle. And there was a couple defenders just waiting.
Matt Dixon, number 81, will check into the lineup. 32, Selma Callaway comes out as Jim Donnan paces on the sideline. Well, he would love to see his team get a 7 on the board and close this gap, because they're down right now by 19 points. Ball is loose.
It's going to be an interesting call right here. Somebody from Tennessee jumped, but he may have gotten back. Now they're going to call Tennessee probably for offside.
Defense was offsides at the snap.
That's what the center's taught, but Mike Bobo wasn't ready. So as soon as the center saw a defensive end come offside, he snapped the football, but Mike Bobo didn't have his hands ready.
Well, it was Coleman. Now Callaway is back in, also Larry Brown. You see, Bobo wasn't ready. He just snapped it right off his shoulder. Edwards with the quick pitch, turns it back inside, and not much there as Ratliff and Green. Green was the first guy to get to him, 55.
You know, an interesting statistic about this Georgia football team. When you think of Georgia, you think of a team that's full of confidence, won a lot of ball games, but in the 90s, this Georgia football team is 21, 26, and 1 in the SEC. So that doesn't bode for a lot of confidence. And they've had trouble with Tennessee, Florida, haven't been able to beat them.
Well, Mike, right now, to keep this drive going, they need the 47 of Tennessee. Shotgun, and they go option. Pitch back to pass, and you hear the crowd buzz every time he touches it. He is from Tucker, Georgia, and they've seen enough tape of him in high school to know what he can do. But you can hear the crowd, just an immediate buzz comes on when he gets the football.
Well, an option play, Mike Bobo, not a real big threat on the option, but he's able to kick the ball out to Patrick Pass to get him outside. He got some good blocks downfield. A nice call by Jim Donnan.
12 yards on the run by Pass. 3 rushes, 20 yards, averaging almost 7 a carry. About to go under 5 minutes to play in this third quarter. Georgia trying to get back in it. They're down 22-3. Pass again. You see the little change of direction, and here he goes. 20, 15, at the 10. It'll be first and goal, Georgia from the 7.
Well, he got some nice blocks, Ron, but what you talked about, his ability to cut back.
Mike, he's got a gait that most folks don't have. Look at his change. Yeah. Now watch, he turns on the speed and how he turns the corner. 31 yards on this run.
Ron, I want to repeat what I said earlier. They need 7 here, not 3.
Edwards comes back in. Selma Callaway operates at fullback. First and goal, 7 yards away. It's Edwards right up the middle. He gets tagged by Leonard Little.
Leonard Little has been quiet tonight as far as sacks against the quarterback and pressures. He's been blocked fairly well by Adam Meadows and Matt Stinchcomb. Made a good play on this play against Robert Edwards. 9th play of the drive coming up, and now Hines Ward is in the lineup. But he's going to go to wide receiver. He'll be at the top of your screen as you look at Stinchcomb. Working outside against 91 Jonathan Brown. Tennessee shows blitz on the corner, and they come with it. Edwards with the block at the 5, down to the 4. It'll be 3rd and goal, and guess who? Number 1, Leonard Little. Now here's a late flag thrown into the pile. And Little comes up and grabs one of his teammates. You would know for sure, yep, that it is going to be against Tennessee. As Little came up, grabbed his teammate and said, don't make the foolish error down here. Well, let's see if it's Noel who does it. Yep, sure is. The right hand. And now watch Little come up and admonish his teammate. Well, they conferred even more after he grabbed Noel. 2nd down and goal. The ball 2.5 yards away. Ward in motion. The pitch back comes to Edwards. Touchdown, Georgia. Mike, we talk about Hines Ward, the fact that he can play quarterback, running back, or wide receiver. He also can block, as he threw the key block on the touchdown. He really did a little crackback block. He was the key on that play. Robert Edwards was able to get to the corner and score that touchdown and put Georgia back in this football game. Hap Hines tries to make it a 12-point game, and he does. So let's take a break and watch what happens on this play. Edwards, watch Ward with the block right there. And Edwards will walk into the end zone. 20 seems to have a passing gear that's a little better. How fast they forget. This is Levine. Out to the 27-yard line. Well, since the last interception that he threw, which was against Florida, 73%. 791 yards, 5 touchdowns, and no interceptions. It was interesting. After the Florida loss, his dad, Archie, put his arm around him. He was flying out that night, and he said, I threw 5 interceptions, or 6 interceptions against Tennessee as a sophomore. He said, you got to take the good with the bad and just get over it. And he has gotten over it. Graham to maybe 3 yards. Mike Tirico, what do you have for us?
Well, Ron, over on the Deuce, we have North Carolina in this McDonald's breakaway in Chapel Hill, getting it done against Maryland. Chris Keldorf is having a terrific season. 13 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. Here's his 4th touchdown of the game to Nate Brown. Tar Heels by 21 over the Terps. Wow, very impressive. You know, Mike, the story you allude to, that's where Archie Hu came from. After he threw the 6 interceptions when Steve Connor asked in the preseason about the thoroughbreds at Ole Miss, and he said, I saw 7 mules. I didn't see thoroughbreds. Open right over the middle, Marcus Nash. And to the 46-yard line, Corey Johnson again. Corey's got to be in double figures in tackles for this ball game tonight. Corey Johnson almost decided to go to Marshall when Jim Donnan was the coach of Marshall, but he decided to come to Georgia, and then lo and behold, Jim Donnan shows up here. Good play fake again by Peyton Manning. Right behind the linebackers. They just really worked that area right behind the linebackers. Here's Corey, junior from Forest Park, Georgia, 5'11", 190. Peyton reverses it out and throws it complete. And the Peerless Price cannot get away from Champ Bailey. The type of play that Peyton Manning just ran just really bothers defensive linemen, because all of a sudden you're just readjusting, you're moving all the time.
trying to get to the quarterback, and he's throwing the ball outside. They're running the football outside. They're trying to wear down this defensive line so that in the fourth quarter, there is no pass rush.
You know, Mike, a lot of quarterbacks, right-handed quarterbacks, don't like to throw against the grain, so to speak, because it's difficult across your body. He seems to really enjoy it.
He gets his shoulder square.
Levine is Grant. Orantis Grant, number 58, takes his feet out from under him, and it'll be enough for the Tennessee first down.
It's almost like the Ole Miss game for the offensive line at Tennessee. The first half, they were like a typewriter. They'd hit and miss all the time, or somebody'd go up, and the rest of them just weren't in sync. But the second half against Ole Miss, they played just like this. Good mix, got the running game going, play action, passing. They had everything going.
Takes the draw that time, throws it complete. And Dustin Moore, the tight end, out of bounds and very close to the first down. By the way, the ESPN Senior PGA Tour rolls on from Silverado Country Club out in the Napa Valley for the Trans-America Classic presented by Cadillac. Final round coverage begins tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern time, and the leaderboard looks like this. Libat Trevino. Also Bobby Strobel at 9 under. 8 under is Aaron Stockton at 7. And 4 tied at 6 under par. Tomorrow at 5 Eastern time. Manning on top for the end zone. Got him there, and they got a hand on it as Kemp couldn't hold on to that one. Alonda Sims, I believe, is the one who tipped it.
Oh, Alonda Sims played this beautifully because he, even though there was a good fake and a good down to throw this, it was 2nd down and 1 yard to go. A good down to throw the post route over the middle. But Alonda Sims just didn't bite on that fake and was able to play back there and make the play. And Sims, second way, just able to knock that ball away.
The boos you heard, the Tennessee fans just on the replay of the Giant screen. Hurdling Levine for the first down. He goes all the way to the 30-yard line. Sophomore out of Dallas, Texas, 5'11", 177.
Philip Fulmer had to do a good coaching job because when you put all the eggs in one basket, and that was the Florida game, and then you lose the Florida game, you're able to bring his ball club back, win against Ole Miss, and leading here against Georgia. When your goals are shot a little bit, you have to readjust them every now and then.
Now, the biggest thing is he is running so much clock here in this third quarter. They're down to 1:10. Peyton fell down, still got it away, and he caught the football. Good heavens, Jermaine Copeland caught the pass.
Well, there's one for the highlight film. Jermaine Copeland is a type of player, Phil Fulmer says, he's just got so much enthusiasm, we've got to find a way to get him on the field. He's the backup quarterback, but they like to play him at wide receiver just to get him on the field. Peyton just got stepped on. Look at that arm. Falling back, Jermaine Copeland with a good jump ball type of ability to go up and make that catch.
I think it might have been Eric Lane, the fullback, who got his feet tangled with him trying to block on the outside. You're right. That'll be on every highlight reel. Manning will just take it out of bounds.
One thing about Copeland, Ron, he scored 44 points in a high school basketball championship game, so you can see his jumping ability out there at the wide receiver spot.
6'4", 210. Out of Harriman as he goes to the sideline. He's a pretty good sized fella. And as you mentioned, an extremely good athlete. So the clock is stopped. 41 ticks left in the third quarter. 6th career 300-plus yard passing game. With Peyton Manning at 321 right now. Checklist says I need to go back to the middle, and he does. And Graham is hit by Grant, but it's going to be down to the 5 and very close to another Tennessee first down.
What Peyton Manning's able to do is look down the field and try to find his first receiver that he's going to throw to. You see he's looking out the wide receiver, trying to look off backers, but he's trying to look at his first choice. Now he finds his second choice. Jay Graham over the middle against Greg Bright.
And that will be the final play of the third quarter. So there's a timeout on the field, and as we head to the final 15, Tennessee 22 and Georgia 10. Third down. Manning goes straight ahead. He didn't go down, so he rolls out of the pocket and throws it in the end zone for a touchdown. Marcus Nash, good heavens. There's another one for the highlight reel. He got stood up in the middle of the line, but nobody locked off on it.
Well, Philip Fulmer's given an expression on the sideline, and he couldn't believe what he saw either. I wasn't watching Peyton Manning. I was watching the wide receivers.
Well, he had the presence of mind. His knee didn't go down. He didn't hear a whistle, so he just bolted out, rolled to the open side of the field, and threw it to Nash for the touchdown. Good heavens. Hall right down the middle.
Take the ball back at him, big guy.
Peyton Manning on the third short yardage, trying to get the first down. Boy, the presence and the alertness of the quarterback. Plays like a veteran. Trying to get the first down. He gets bumped back there. He keeps his feet. Starts moving. Jay Graham blocks for him, but the receivers have a presence in mind.
He's
keep moving also.
He's signaling to Nash that go to the corner. He did, and it got him a touchdown.
Marcus Nash working against Glenn Ford. He's rolling him around the barn there a little bit. Heading for the corner of the end zone. Knows where the line is. Keeps his feet in bounds for the touchdown. Peyton needs to go to Las Vegas.
I'll tell you,
he's on a roll.
That's one of the amazing. If a guy just walked into the room and saw what happened right there, maybe had a couple, he would think that play was run to Smokey, do a 360, and then go back towards Smokey. We'll throw it to you.
Had a couple of what?
A couple of beverages on a Saturday night. I'll tell you what, this defense probably feels that way right now, that they've been sent in a circle or two. This is pass from the 2. You know, Peyton started with good mechanics, and he worked and worked to improve them. And since arriving in Tennessee, actually, he has tightened up his delivery.
2 years ago, my freshman year, I found myself, I was bringing the ball a little bit lower. And the motion was good. It was just taking long to get rid of the ball. So I figured guys blitzing, guys coming, just raise the ball up a little bit. When he's open, the ball's up a little higher, and the ball's gone a lot sooner. So the ball's here, comes open, the ball's out.
It's like a boxer's punch, Ron. The higher that ball, you can keep that ball. You can get rid of it a little quicker.
Well, they now are back up to a 19-point margin. Ball is loose and has been picked up by the tight end, Larry Brown. Boy, that could have, as if the second half hasn't already been disastrous, that could have been an easy situation for Tennessee to give it right back to him as Edwards just dropped it.
Well, the difference in the first half as opposed to the second half for the Georgia defense. Joe Kynes is trying everything to slow down Peyton Manning. But in the first half, they stopped down there, were forced to kick field goals, but the second half they've been able to get in the end zone. Tired defense.
Yeah, and they have had to be out there a lot. They really have. And then they've had to deal with plays like Manning made it happen just a moment ago. Hines Ward breaks a tackle, 30, 35 at the 40, and shoved out of bounds. Let's see, they're going to say, now here comes a late flag here. Way after the play is over. They've spotted him out around the 41. Kellen Winslow stand by after the call. It's a personal foul against Tennessee. Now let's go down to you, Kellen.
Well, Ron, Hines Ward just moments ago was standing on the sideline. Very painful rib problem. Had his helmet off. Looked in a great deal of pain. It was doubtful he was going to come back into the ball game, but he's back in. He's a tough young man and just having a great night.
You know, Ron, he has a great attitude. When they switched him to wide receiver, he said, I'll play anywhere you want me to play. He wants to play pro football, and he wants to be in a position someday to take his best that he can do and be able to move into that position. He'd like to play quarterback, but he said, I'll do whatever you want me to do.
What a utility guy, though. You know, he's going to wind up a good shot at leaving here with over 1,000 yards receiving, passing, and running, right? Here's the pitch, and they run the reverse. And speaking to the devil, it's Hines Ward. injured ribs. He just puts his head down and goes forward as Parker puts a stop on him.
Same play. They've got a defense that's really running to the football very well, so you take advantage of them with the reverse. Mike Bobo's going to pitch the ball out and come back and get a little block for his wide receiver, Hines Ward.
Looked like a good block by Beatles inside against Leonard Little to help out on the play. We're in the fourth quarter. You've just joined us. Tennessee 29, Georgia 10. About to go into 13 to play in our ball game. Bobo's pass has it complete to Corey Allen.
It looks like Mike Bobo has warmed up also. The one thing that Tennessee's not allowing, though, is the easy play. The long pass, the long touchdown run. They're making Jim Donnan's offense work the field and use that clock.
You know, they lost their first couple of games and won the last couple. But this ball game here tonight, they have run into a very good Tennessee team, particularly in the second half, and gotten back on track. Look at Edwards, reverses at 20, 15, at the 10, and he's down to the 6-yard line. First and goal, Georgia.
That's why I was saying on Patrick Pass that they've got a couple tailbacks back there that you got to get in the ball game. Of course, you only got one football, but Robert Edwards still has that ability to take it the distance. Watch this cut now. He moves to the outside. He cuts on a dime, cuts back across the grain, picks up some nice blocks, and then works down the field till Raymond Austin can make the tackle.
Brad Stafford, number 65, the senior, threw an excellent block on the play, and look what happened to Bobo after he carried out the fake.
Nick Jester just ran over him. They want to make the quarterback pay on every play.
He was the court jester on that one. Bobo just didn't think it was funny. Edwards tries to turn the corner, nothing doing. That's a nice job of containment. Jester again, and Edwards, very frustrated, says, hey, can't get out here to turn the corner.
Well, the court jester was working outside there, and there was no place to go. When you run a toss sweep and you keep running to the sideline, the play is going to be negated. Nick Jester did that. Able to move down the field. He's number 45 and get up the field. Now there's no place to run.
Then Noel is out there to push him out of bounds.
Look for some type of play action pass here. Or you got Hines Ward as an inside receiver.
Pressure up the middle. And they throw the screen back into Selma Callaway. And he's going to be tackled at the 4-yard line. It's Noel. No, Al Wilson, beg your pardon, 27.
That was a good call, Ron. That was a good screen pass. Just took a little bit long for Mike Bobo to get it to Selma Callaway. If he'd got it a little sooner, but he was under pressure and couldn't. But if he gets it to him a little sooner, that may have been a touchdown.
Ron Green comes out, will get a breather. To 10. Georgia threatening. It is third down. Play action right into the flat. Touchdown, Georgia. Selma Callaway.
Excellent play fake by Mike Bobo. Made that play. Selma Callaway just was able to hide his way, find his way in the flat. Mike Bobo delivered. He's having a good second half.
Now, nothing will please the coaching staff anymore than to have been down the way they were and come right back down the field and put a touchdown on the board. As Hap Hines converts, and we go to break with one more look at Selma Callaway, the junior out of Colquitt, Georgia, as he scores. We'll be right back. Onside kick, so they send it deep, and it's going to be Levine. Gene Tootle on the special teams makes the tackle on Levine. So Peyton Manning, who is having another record night for himself, 338 the total, 2 touchdowns, 28 of 35. Back onto the field, just over 11 minutes to play in the ball game. And as you can see his breath getting a little chilly here in Athens, Georgia. Feels wonderful. Quick pass out to Kemp. Quentin Davis runs him out of bounds.
Ron, his dad Archie spoke at the Monday evening Athens Touchdown Club here this week, and when they asked him to compare himself with Peyton, he said, when I was playing, I didn't know the difference between a double zone or double hernia. And he said, you know, Peyton knows everything. He said he knows the coverages. He works at it. So he said farther ahead of me than I ever was in college reading defenses. Of course, I think Archie was pretty special himself.
That's Graham, who will take it to the 35. He also closed the speech by saying, don't hurt my little boy on Saturday. Because his little boy is now 6'5", 215 pounds.
The SEC's blessed with some good quarterbacks when you look at Danny Werfel and Peyton Manning, and those two just really, they make all the highlights in college football.
Graham again. Hurdles at the line of scrimmage. And on first down, will take it close to the 39 before Brian Jones trips him up. Also Chris Terry.
Well, the difference in the second half has been the Jay Graham. Tennessee started off 33 first-half yards, but even though it's only 57 yards, they came early in the third quarter, which kind of set the tone and opened up the little play-action passes to Peyton Manning.
18 for 65 yards on the game for Graham tonight. There's fade route here, and he overthrew that one. Peerless Price is the guy that he wanted, and with that pass there, Manning will go below the 75 percentile.
That was Champ Bailey. Good coverage. When you lock your corner on the outside, you play that bump and run coverage. Your corner has to be able to stay with the wide receiver.
Well, listen to this crowd now. They're very much in it. They want to see a stop right here and want Georgia to get the football back. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. It was either Cooper or Ferguson. It was hard to tell which they both were.
I think it was Jason Ferguson, number 92, Ron. He's going to make this deflection. Peyton Manning trying to go right over the middle.
Yeah, it was. You're exactly right, Mike. It was Ferguson.
And Joe Kine said he's like a St. Bernard. He's quiet and lumbering, but he gets the job done.
Binion to punt. He has not been real busy tonight. McCraney tries to make a return. He'll bring it back to the 32. And we have 9:39 left in our ball game, so we'll take a break. Tennessee by 12. The Bulldogs have the ball back. Bobo, this one is knocked down at the line of scrimmage, and it's Billy Barron, the junior out of River Ridge, Louisiana.
6'3", he's able to put the pressure on Mike Bobo and deflect the football. Georgia needs a quick score here with 9:34 to go. They're using both tailbacks in the ball game, Ron. Well, now they're bringing pass out.
Yeah, pass will come out. Hines Ward, Juan Daniels, I beg your pardon, number 12 is in the lineup, and Hines is there as well, number 19, bottom of your screen. Got it complete. That's Brown. He's tied in, and there's your big strike, Mike, down to the 45 of Tennessee.
Well, they brought Hines Ward across the middle and opened up the tight end, had a crossing route. Larry Brown's going to break the outside. Hines Ward underneath. Larry Brown uses that 6'5" frame to make the catch on Al Wilson, a backer. Georgia on the move.
23 yards on the pass completion. About to go under 9 to play. Corey Allen. Tyrone Hines will make the tackle. Mike, were they setting up a trick play?
No, I think they were trying to set up to make it look like it was a trick play, and then Mike Bobo delivered the ball to Corey Allen. But, Ron, what I was going to say is Mike Bobo right now is feeling it just like he did last year when he had that game. He was in a rhythm last year. He's back in that kind of rhythm tonight.
Maybe what we should tell the people that we're talking about is Hines Ward was out there, and he looked as though they might lateral to him.
It looked like a double pass set up, but then Corey Allen opened up wide over the middle.
Callaway in motion. Counterplay to Edwards. Breaks one tackle and is still fighting. Stinchcomb is out there blocking for him as Jason Parker brings him down short of the 21.
You said it earlier, but Jim Donnan's got to be pleased the way his team continues to fight back. They lost 2 games early in the year to Southern Miss and South Carolina. Came back, beat a Texas Tech team here with a big drive late in the ball game. Beat Mississippi State last week. I said the transition's over. Now his ball club knows what to expect. He knows what to expect of his team. And they're playing hard tonight, and that's all you can ask as a coach.
Hey, your fans will stay with you forever when you play hard. Drop play to Edwards. Breaks a tackle. 20, 15, and he fights and dives down to the 12. Jason Parker got a hand on him. That is another Georgia first down.
Robert Edwards is a special back. We've seen him with some great performances, especially last year against Tennessee. Got a nice block by Selma Callaway again. Broke a tackle and able to get the first down. Look at his strength. Good lower body strength. He just runs through the tackle.
98 yards, 21 attempts. Bobo gives it to Edwards again. Not much doing there. Green grabbed him first, then got a lot of help. Also, Al Wilson was there. He may have lost a yard. Here comes Juan Daniels back in, number 12.
Another receiver that's come in tonight is Tony Small.
Yeah, number 4.
Number 4, who's played well for Georgia.
He goes to the top of the screen along with Corey Allen as you look at Leonard Little. Bobo's pass. The flag is down and no signal.
It looks like offensive interference is going to be called on Hines Ward. He pushed Raymond Austin, I believe.
Push. You're exactly right, Mike. Against Georgia.
Raymond Austin was right on Hines Ward, and he gave him a little push. In the corner of the end zone. Let's see if we can pick it up here. Hines Ward. I don't know. I mean, he's trying to get away a little bit. I didn't see any extended arms in the push there. I kind of agree with you, Hines. A little frustrated there.
Thinking as though he did trap the ball. He didn't catch it clean. But that's a moot point. Penalty pushes it back to the 28. We have 6:39 to play.
The penalty hurts.
Tennessee by 12, 29-17.
And 3 doesn't help you at all with 6:39 on the clock, so you've got to try to find a way to sling it down the field here. All 3 receivers, maybe the old Hail Mary pass here shortened up a little bit.
Too high over the middle, and it's intercepted by Raymond Austin. And Austin tackled just shy of the 50 by Antonio Fleming.
Ball took off on Mike Bobo. Just overthrew it. Mike's looking for somebody to hit, and the ball just took off, and plus he threw it off his wrong foot, I believe. He's trying to get the ball to Corey Allen, number 80. Raymond Austin just picks up the pass, almost hits Raymond Austin right in stride. He's covering Juan Daniels. He knocks him down. That looks like, again, now you're pushing the receiver down. That was the receiver that
I started to say that's the guy he was going to.
Yeah, I've said all along that they're going to have to change the rule for coverage in the college ranks, because people are getting away with too many pushes down the football field. You may have to go to the pro rule where you can only hit the guy to 5 yards. But here, clearly, Juan Daniels is knocked down by Raymond Austin. That was who Mike Bobo was going to the ball with. But the rule, I've seen so much of this year, just defensive backs knocking the heck out of receivers all the way down the field.
6:20 to play. And it's Lane, the fullback, gets a rare carry, and he is to the 32. Chris Terry stops in. Ward with his head down on the sideline. He's gotten banged up a little bit. We have documented the fact that he had a rib injury, but has continued to play, as Mike Bobo explains to Jim Donnan what he saw and what happened on the play from out on the field. Gets it complete to McCullough, and he will go out of bounds and stop the clock. Well, the Deuce has the best in college football next Saturday. Iowa taking on Penn State at 12:30. Then at 6, Ole Miss tries to stop Freddie Kitchens in Alabama. And at 9 o'clock, the BYU Cougars head to Tulsa. All next Saturday on ESPN2.
You know what I'm talking about around the pro rule of 5 yards, and that's you can chuck them to 5. Once they get past that 5-yard rule, they have to leave them go. And I think that same thing should happen in college football.
I don't disagree with you. I think there are several changes that we have talked about. We need to consolidate them one Saturday and put them all.
I think you can put our thoughts in a bottle and throw them in the ocean.
Well, next week we're in Miami. 5:29 left in the ball game. Vols by 12, and we'll take the timeout with them. Graham breaks off the tackle and finally is going to be knocked out of bounds by Jones. That was Jermaine Smith, who was all over him, and he just got away.
Jay Graham shows you why. He's 220 pounds, a solid running back. He's going to run right through the tackle of Jermaine Smith. Frustration after a long evening, letting the tackle go.
Yeah, those guys have had to do a lot of chasing of the quarterback, plus put up with this guy, Jay Graham. Graham, 19 carries for 72 yards. Gets it again. And on his 20th carry, he fumbled and recovered by Smith. Jermaine Smith is on the football at the 10-yard line.
Georgia still has hope here, around 5:16 left. I mean, they still got a shot. A lot of people heading for the exits, but this game's still alive.
This is Bright, I think it gets the strip, isn't
Greg
it?
Bright, number 45, going to reach out. Grab the football. It's Greg Bright who caused that fumble.
So the first Tennessee turnover tonight, Georgia with 2.
And Georgia with plenty of time. Around 5:16, they got 3 timeouts. They need big patches.
Edwards hit once, hit twice, breaks off another tackle, and he's up the sideline. That is a really nice effort as Terry Noel finally will get him out of bounds at the 17.
Leonard Little, number 1, just couldn't bring it. He steps inside to tight end. Nobody blocks him. Good first move, but just is not able to tackle Robert Edwards. He shows you the strength of a good running back. Torrey Noel finally knocked him out of bounds. Stops the clock.
23 carries now for 103 yards for Robert Edwards.
Georgia's got a problem here with the play clock moving down. They've got to hurry.
Yep, it's down to 5, down to 4, and 3. Snaps it and is back in the pocket. Right over the middle, incomplete. And, you know, there's a situation where Small really just kind of froze in the middle of the field instead of trying to help out his quarterback.
Yeah, you can't do that. You've got to move with your quarterback, and then you've got to find an area and sit down so that your quarterback can find you. Mike Bobo didn't get his feet set. He was just under too much pressure and was not able to get his feet set to deliver the ball.
Matt Dixon, number 81, comes into the lineup for Georgia. 5 minutes even left in this one. 29-17, Tennessee. Third down, and he is not going to have the first down. Hines with the tackle on pass. They needed the 20-yard line to keep it going, and that means that Langley is going to have to come out and kick it away.
No, I think they've got to go for it here,
Yeah,
Ron.
okay.
Tyrone Hines played that run all the way. There wasn't any thought of a play-action pass there. He's got to go for this.
So Georgia calls a timeout. Timeout on the field. 4:36 remaining.
Night as far as to hurt his ball club.
Option play on 4th down. And Edwards is not going to have it. He is going to be stopped at the 19 by Ron Green.
Georgia had no choice. They had to go for the first down.
So that'll just about do it with 4:29 left in the ball game, and Tennessee will take it over at the Georgia 19-yard line.
Well, and Jay Graham fumbled the last one. Let's see if they get him the ball right back. Whether they're going to bring him into the ball game or not.
Leonard Little and the remainder of that defense of Tennessee coming over for a well-deserved rest, knowing that they have done their job tonight. Play action incomplete, and that stops the clock. Well, coming up, the Residence Inn College Football Scoreboard. Rose Bowl scare. That obviously has something to do with the folks from Columbus. Irish Crush and Sunshine State Showdown with Chris Fowler. All of those things coming up. Tongue Twister Night here on ESPN. Robert Edwards tried very hard just a moment ago to get that first down so that his team could keep their offensive drive going, but he was a yard shorter, just under. Levine, the ball carrier. You can see him holding on to it with both arms to the 15, and the clock about to go under 4 minutes to play. Alunda Sims from the secondary.
With Tennessee now, they can turn their attention to the big one on the 26th of October with Alabama. And look at their November. They're 40-1 in November since 1985. If I was Phil Fulmer, I'd put all the calendars up. When in August, I'd just pull off everything and make it November.
Every month is November. Well, it was interesting. He said, I said, Phil, how long did it take you after the Florida game? And he said, good thing we had the week off. Because he said, I didn't think we got over that ball game until the following Saturday.
Yeah, and their schedule is a nice schedule because they get time before the big ball games and after to heal up a little bit. And they were made by Doug Dickey, who's an excellent AD, but he's a former football coach. He understands, and he understands scheduling.
You know, Georgia now calls a timeout as Jeff Hall comes on, the field goal kicker for Tennessee. And so we'll take the break with him. Well, here's the field goal attempt by Hall, and it is no good. Just wide to the left. So continues to be a 12-point margin. Hall had the first 9 points of the night for Tennessee.
You're still not out of it if you're Georgia. I keep harping on that, but you're still only 12 down, 3:16. You need some big plays here, but Mike Bobo's capable of it. He's got some good receivers in Hines Ward, Juan Daniels, Corey Allen. The ball's got to go down the field here.
Also, Small is back in the lineup, number 4. Bobo dumps it off to Edwards, breaks off that tackle, and it's going to be caught from behind by Jester. He'll be just across the 20-yard line.
Got to go to no huddle. What you teach your defensive players now, lay down on the ground a little longer on the ball carrier. Don't let him up. Walk to the line of scrimmage. Offense, you're trying to hurry. You want to get up as quickly as you can. You want to get back to your shotgun formation and get the play off.
See Hines Ward standing there with both hands out saying, where do you want me to go?
This could be the double pass or something like that you want to throw.
Bobo's pass is caught by Juan Daniels.
And here's where we're on the college rule of stopping the clock first downs helps a team like Georgia right now. You and I have talked about the length of games, too. You have an idea on how to speed up the clock a little bit, but you can put that in that bottle, too, and throw out in the ocean next week.
Well, we'll do that. We will. That's good for 18 yards right there. Clock now running again. 2:26, now 2:25. Flag is down. That's Edwards.
Where that's thrown, it may be offsides on it. You hate to jump on a call, but where that flag is thrown, it probably is offside on Tennessee.
Offside, defense, penalty 5 yards from the previous spot.
You almost know when the flag's thrown in different areas.
Yeah.
You know, it's like holding. If it's thrown over there, usually it's going to be, and if it's a pass, it's going to be an offside. Clock's moving. They're wasting some time here. They need to get the ball snap.
They had to get another lineman in. Kenley Ingram, a junior out of Anson, North Carolina. Number 64 is in the lineup. Pass to Edwards. Trying to get him in the open field, and then he goes out of bounds, knocked out by Hines.
You've got to use the sideline as your ally right now. You need to get out of bounds right away. And Ron, we talked about Georgia earlier, Jim Donnan. I believe Jim Donnan is going to do a great job here at Georgia. Now, they've got a tough schedule. What he'd like to do in his first year here is he'd like to get to a bowl game. It's going to take 6 wins for Georgia to get to a bowl game, and it's going to be tough because he's still got the Gators and some other people down the road. It's Georgia Tech's playing very well under George O'Leary right now, so he's going to need some breaks to get to that 6 or 7 win mark.
Now, as you look at the schedule, Tyrone Hines is limping off the field. October, Vanderbilt and Kentucky. Then in November, wow, Florida, Auburn, Ole Miss, Georgia Tech.
He could get to 6, though. If he gets to 6, he goes to a bowl game because Georgia's following. And that's what he'd like to do, because if you get to a bowl game, then you get that extra practice time for the bowl where you can start practicing next year's team. And it means so much to recruits just to say, I'm in a bowl game. I don't care what bowl game you go to. It's important to get to one, especially in your first year as a coach.
Bobo's pass knocked down and very nearly intercepted by Peebles. Whoa. You know, this has to be a good game for Robert Edwards as far as his psyche, because, you know, he mentioned us outside the locker room the other day that this thing about when they used him so much and all the injuries that were occurring, it was beginning to become partially a mental thing as far as how durable he was.
I'll tell you what will get his attention, too, is number 6, Patrick Pass. This morning, he's around the area.
Well, speaking of the devil. Pass gets by a tackle at the 45 and takes it for 5 more before Jason Parker puts a sure stop on him.
You always look for some bright spots in the ball game. It appears that Georgia's not going to win this football game, and you look for bright spots. Jim Donnan tonight got a big bright spot in Patrick Pass, and he may look to play both those guys in the backfield at the same time, Pass and Edwards.
Right over the middle. Wow. I mean, it hit Hines Ward. Couldn't hold on. Anyway, tonight's Visa players of the game are from Tennessee, Peyton Manning, 31 of 41, 371 in yardage, 2 touchdowns. And from Georgia, Robert Edwards. And the numbers on Robert tonight, 104 yards, and he scored a touchdown. As part of their continuing effort to further the development of amateur athletics, Visa is proud to donate $1,000 to each of these universities on behalf of these athletes.
And Ron, when you talk to Peyton Manning and you talk to him about Danny Werfel, I mean, he has so much respect for Danny Werfel, and I'm sure it's the same way from Danny Werfel. You got 2 class quarterbacks in this league. I mean, you got a lot of class quarterbacks, but 2 very good quarterbacks that are also class individuals representing the Florida Gators in the Tennessee Vols.
Very nearly the same route Hines Ward caught at that time.
They need to get in. They still got time. 1:31. They got 2 timeouts. You can get that onside kick team ready if you get this ball in the end zone.
Some of those people that had headed for the tunnels are sneaking back out to get another look here to see if the Dogs can get it in.
That's pass. Got just enough of him. Al Wilson did to throw him off stride.
You've got to throw it in the end zone now. Time is becoming such of a factor now.
Georgia has only 1 timeout left. Clock down to 54, now 53. Bobo delivers, intercepted at the 10-yard line by Terry Fair. And I'll tell you exactly what happened. His receivers were standing side by side, and nobody would move, and he thought that one was going to break back to the boundary.
No, and you can't blame that on Mike Bobo. That was a busted pattern right there. Mike Bobo has given a great effort here in the second half for Jim Donnan. Here's Hines Ward, number 19. All of a sudden, you see Juan Daniels over there, too, and Hines tried to break outside. Terry Fair with the interception.
Hard to break behind him.
Yeah, and you can turn out the lights. Jim Donnan will get it done here. I know the Georgia fans, he'll get it done.
Residence in college football scoreboard coming up next. At the personal foul, the 15 yards was against Ingram as Manning goes down on a knee.
Well, there's 36 seconds. Give me your rule real quick on time. What you would do. You got enough time
until the 3 minutes. Until the 3 minutes on the clock in the first half and at the end of the ball game. If you run out of bounds and untouched, clock continues to run. Clock continues to run on first downs. Only stoppages is on change of possession, penalty, or obviously a timeout.
Put in the bottle.
9 seconds down to 8. And our final score, Tennessee 29 and Georgia 17. Ron Franklin for Mike Gottfried and Kellen Winslow. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Now let's join Chris Fowler for the Residence Inn College Football Scoreboard. Chris.